Hello, lovers. I'm Matt, and before I was the big wheel guy, I always wanted to be an astronaut. So these are my parents on a date at the Smithsonian in '67. Dinosaur, my sister works at a history museum. Spaceship, I became an aerospace engineer. And these two are on their 50th orbit around the sun together. So I present to you an astronaut's view of love, or orbital mechanics and navigating your relationship. So we'll need some basics. First of all, gravity. Gravity is the attractive force that all objects in the universe possess. Two objects that are close together will attract each other and have a gravitational pull that they'll orbit each other. And this is how we can tell if a celestial body has a companion. They will wobble in their orbits together along their path. I know. An orbit is a constant state of falling. When we orbit another body, we are moving forward and falling toward them, moving forward and falling to them until we're in a constant state of falling about them. Now, you can go suborbital, which is exerting just enough energy to get a glimpse of the heavens before you re-enter and fall back down to your home. To leave your home and explore the outer reaches, you need to exert a massive amount of energy. And this is to achieve escape velocity, to go fast enough that you can escape the gravitational pull of your home. Though containing this energy, when we're not prepared, can spin us out of control. We can fail to launch, we can lose our trajectory completely. Famously, one of the Mars missions crashed when the two teams failed to convert between miles and kilometers. Another mission failed when it misunderstood the signal of its legs deploying as touchdown and crashed into the surface. How many times have we crashed when we failed to recognize the signals or misinterpret? When you get to your destination, their orbit will slingshot you around. When you come close to the surface, that's when the friction of the atmosphere will actually slow you down and bring you into a stable orbit. Engineers call this aerobraking. We call it dating. The gravity attracts you in, and the friction slows you until you achieve a stable orbit. In my own search for life, I found a woman whose gravity affected me greatly. She invited me to be part of her orbit with her two little moons, ages 6 and 10. And she knew that I would affect all of their orbits. 3 great years we spent synchronizing our trajectories and establishing the orbits of the little moons, and we wobbled together. But some parts were unavailable for observation. They were clouded in darkness, and I was unable to determine if this was right for life. Maybe it wasn't right. Maybe it was too close to the sun. Maybe there were other opportunities for life out there in the universe. So like a comet, I jetted out and achieved escape velocity and went out around the sun. Out there is so much more to explore and see, but it's so far away and distant, and it's cold and lonely. Out there, I realized that there is so much to be seen and explored, looking inward at the surface, examining the life that is there. So after a year, I came back from around the sun, and I began my approach again. As I got closer, I could see her orbit wobble. Another had been attracted to her gravity, and I watched them wobble. But then there was a signal, an invitation to explore. There was still life on the surface. But the transmissions were interrupted, and it was garbled like 2 different languages. And then I could tell their orbits were disturbed. They moved chaotically. And then it was radio silence. So I begin my search for life again, for my own life, for a life like I've never known before. I have felt your gravity. I want to orbit with you. Will you enter into a constant state of falling with me?